You'll pay for that.
Whoa, whoa, careful! Come on!
Uh-oh. Come on!
Are you gonna free us or what? Sounds. Hey, you did it. Nice work. Bye.
Please, ma'am, take pity on us. Free us, I'm begging you. You think we can make it? You really do? Freedom!
Evening.
Hello. Oh, it's just awful here. Can't you help us? If you say so, You know these collars have a bomb in them, don't you? You did it! Oh, thank you so much! Hurry up. The guards keep eyeing me like I'm a piece of meat.
Please, ma'am, take pity on us. Free us, I'm begging you. My family was ambushed by a pack of Legion raiders near Searchlight, and Frank ran off, the gutless coward. I have no idea where he is, but at least we're free from his abuse. Thank you. Thank you so much. When will we be free? If there's any chance you can free us, it's worth the risk. My goodness, I swear my heart skipped a beat. Anything that gets us out of here, please.
Are you gonna free us or what? Sounds like I don't have much choice. Hey, you did it. Nice work. Freedom. Thank God Frank thinks we're enslaved. Now we can actually start fresh. Thank you for helping us.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? I am Cursar Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go? You'll be meeting face to face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. That it would be a woman is even more surprising. All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough. You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Caesar to take such an interest. The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. This order also extends to the platinum chip you carry, for now. Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items. I know not why Caesar would wish to speak with such a physically inferior whelp, but I will allow this one exception. You may bear Caesar's mark, but do not attempt to share any of your medicine with anyone in the fort. Caesar strictly forbids the use of chems and alcohol. By his order, all visitors must also relinquish their arms upon entry. If you come in peace, then there is no reason to not disarm. You will not be harmed unless Caesar wills it. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Awe. Caesar awaits you in his tent. You have license to find your own way. I'll wait here to ferry you back to the western shore when your visit has concluded. Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word. I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second in command, however. It was unpleasant. He's the best the Legion has to offer, or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man, wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmins simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though. Shoot. No, ma'am. I'm an independent trader from Arizona. Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off. Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along. All right. Be seeing you around.
Excuse me.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. Awe, true to Caesar.
I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
What do you want from me, woman? I'm in charge of the arena, not the cooking pots. Such as? Light armor and machetes only. The challenger, the one who asks to enter the arena, may be pitted against one or more opponents. All matches continue until one side is dead. No exceptions. I set up the fights, keep track of prisoners available, and make sure the arena's cleaned up. Most of the time, it's some young legionary trying to make a name for himself, hoping to get noticed by Caesar or the Praetorians. We pit slaves or prisoners against each other once in a while, but it's not much of a show. They're usually too reluctant to kill each other. Like what? Women are beneath notice, as Caesar has taught us. I'm only allowing you to speak to me because you are Caesar's guest. I may yet, if Caesar commands it. A great warrior. When he was but a recruit, I watched him kill 10 men in the arena with his bare hands. He doesn't feel pain, and he never ever shows mercy. If all legionaries were like him, the Legion would be invincible. Go. Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
A free woman. It's been a while since I've seen a woman who wasn't a slave. I forget myself. Are you injured? I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries, healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on Xander root. Plenty of Brock flowers, though. Oh, I've been using 2 roots per flower. Thanks to you, I'll be able to create twice as much healing powder per day. For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some healing powder every day, but you'd have to be a friend of the Legion. What about it? Do you have some advice? Was there something else? What do you want to know? A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here. 3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught. We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually. You ought to be careful yourself. I overheard some of the legionaries talking about trying you out. All right. A vengeful spirit. Some of the more superstitious women claim. He was a great leader of the Legion before he failed Caesar. The story says he was set on fire and thrown into the Grand Canyon, but his angry spirit rose from the ashes of his corpse, looking for revenge. Nonsense probably, but there's no doubt that many in the Legion believe he's still alive somehow. The legate is not a man to be crossed, especially if you're a woman. That's all I'll talk about it. Okay.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
You must enter Caesar's tent alone. Anyone else must remain outside. You must enter Caesar's tent alone. Anyone else must remain outside.
Should have brought something to read.
You'll pay for that.
Whoa, whoa! Careful! Come on!
Platinum chip when the time comes. In the meantime, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave? You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it? When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? Oh, I'll give you the platinum chip, and then you'll use it exactly like I tell you to. The time is fast approaching when my Legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 Casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Goodbye. Come back when you've destroyed whatever you find down in that bunker.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
I suspect you'll be a valuable asset to the Legion. Assuming you're really on our side, of course. There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own. Besides the gratitude of the Legion, don't worry, you'll be paid in coin or caps. I prefer to handle these matters through intermediaries, such as yourself. Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip. Hurry along, and she still may be in one piece by the time you get there.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar. We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it. The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. You could probably find a spare firing mechanism there. He's the best warrior in the Legion. A full legionary by the time he was 12, he's never lost a battle. Had the Legate been in command during the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Legion would have won. I have no doubt about that. No, Legate Lanius is Caesar's second. The Legate replaced the Burned Man after the Legion's defeat at the dam several years ago. The Burned Man was Caesar's advisor and general when the Legion was originally formed. The Burned Man led us to a disastrous defeat at the dam. On Caesar's orders, the Burned Man was covered in pitch by the Praetorian Guard, lit on fire, and cast into the Grand Canyon. Caesar has forbidden us from ever speaking his true name again, and so we simply refer to him as the Burned Man. It's a tradition in the Praetorians to specialize in unarmed combat, because weapons can break or jam when needed most. However, our unarmed techniques favor offense over defense. We can charge the enemy and flatten him with our first strike before he can react. Of course, this will take some time, and I'm not a forgiving teacher. Yes. Do you have something to report? I'll answer if I can. When I was a boy, the Legion conquered my tribe. I was chosen for training as a legionary. I fought in many battles for the Legion. Eventually, Caesar chose me to lead his Praetorian Guard. It was a great honor. The girls and women were enslaved, and many of the men and boys were also chosen to become legionaries. The rest were killed. We were savages. The Legion raised us up, made us better than what we were. What did you want to talk about? Very well. Wale.
We'll talk again when you've destroyed whatever is down in that bunker, not before.
Watch yourself, profligate.
Our way, true to Caesar.
Aw, just when the standing around was getting exciting.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
None may enter without Caesar's permission.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him. Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
Our way, true to Caesar.